Congratulations, Dune. Such incredible work. Those costumes, thousands of costumes. We have to talk about the still suits. What conversations did you have about bringing those still suits? That's survival gear. So what fabric went into that and bringing that to life?
Many fabrics. We created what's called a micro sandwich of all of these wicking fabrics, because though we didn't really have to recycle human wastewater for our actors, we did have to keep them cool in the desert. And we used several layers of fabric, some Japanese, some we bought locally here in Los Angeles, some we've sourced in London, and we layered them so that it would wick the moisture away from the skin and be a coolant when the wind from the desert would hit the actors. So that was one fabric, and then the rest was molded plastics and tubing and little, what do you call them, places to trap the liquid pockets and stuff, located all through the still suit. There were great descriptions in the book that were our guide.
There's actually an encyclopedia of Dune that goes into detail about what it is, and so it gives you great reference.
How did you divide the costume work between the two of you? What was that conversation?
I don't know, it just kind of fell into place.
Divide and conquer.
Let's talk about Baron Harkonnen's kaftan, muumuu. You know, what fabric did you use for him, and what was his look, the conversation that you wanted to go into him?
That was a conversation early on with Denis when I think the first time I met with him in Mary Perrin's office, he asked me what I thought the Baron Harkonnen should look like and how I would dress a 400-pound man. And I said, with a lot of fabric. But the inspiration, I said, I've always been a huge fan of Marlon Brando. It's been an obsession all my life. And I just thought of Kurtz in Apocalypse. And I mentioned that to Denise warily, because I didn't know him that well then. And he said, that's exactly how I see him, Jacqueline. So went from there.
And Rebecca Ferguson, her outfits in the beginning, talk about crafting her look with the face jewelry and the scarves that we see. Like, who was she to you?
She was what I call my medieval character. Yeah. Her look came from a lot of medieval drawings, paintings, Giotto, even went to Goya for her with all the black lace. She was definitely medieval inspired, but also when she arrives in Arrakis, I really looked at a lot of Middle Eastern, North African references for the face veil.
Yeah.
We always kind of joke that we had to go 1,000 years in the past to go 10,000 years in the future.
Bob, what look are you most proud of in the film? What look are you most proud of in the film?
It's like asking to pick your favorite child, but
I know.
There's so many. I think the scene I love, one of the scenes I love the most was the arrival of the Spacing Guild and that procession down the ramp with the Herald of Change. I thought that was just so beautiful. And it was one of the last things we shot, but I thought it was just such a powerful scene.
What was the inspiration for those costumes there?
The Avignon papacy.
Yeah.
I thought there was a kind of correlation between the Avignon papacy and the execution of the Templars. The Atreides army being the Templars, and the Spacing Guild being part of the Avignon papacy that condemned them. So it was a kind of a subliminal looking at the past.
What were the challenges of designing those costumes for, those locations, such as Jordan, when it's like, what, 120 degrees, and talk about that.
I think that goes back to what we were talking about, the still suit, and Jacqueline and I both have worked on many films where the technology was important, and we knew that, especially the still suit, was going to have to work in Budapest in cold temperatures on stage and in the extremely hot temperatures. So that was the challenge. Also, the fact that it had to fit all of our cast. So from Timothy to Rebecca to Jason Momoa, each costume had to be a bespoke costume and function, be comfortable, feel good, and look good.
Okay, how many costumes did you design in total, roughly?
2,000.
Over 400 specialty costumes.
Yeah. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. Incredible work. I mean, congratulations.